What is up, everyone? I am back with a little update to the Master Chief Seattle Seahawks edition. And when I say edition, I mean custom-made statue, because it's highly unlikely I would make a second one exactly like this. I mean, I would, but I just, sometimes, let's put it this way, this was a work in progress. So what you're looking at is not exactly how it started, meaning, there was no pre-planning, nothing like that. It wasn't like I sat down with the customer and just colored in all the pieces. It's based off a Tampa Bay Buck statue that I made in a larger scale that's actually made for an NFL player. Now, this one is not, unless he didn't tell me, but it is a badass Seattle Seahawks version. I did want to make one of these prior to even meeting him. I just, to get to do something on the side it just doesn't always happen. These things take time. This probably took a little longer than I should have took, but it was just like I wanted to go through it thoroughly, and I just shit happened. So, but it's almost finished, even though you might not know it. What's left to do, I'll just explain real quick. The stand will be painted, the logo, the rest is going to be white. So it's just a little blue, green, and gray. But it got to be done last. And it's got to be sanded, like this stuff's got to be cut off. So it's done last because it gets drilled before I paint it. Sometimes I paint it ahead of time, but with this one, when where he's going to stand hasn't been decided yet. Now, he can't stand exactly where he is now. He would have to be turned a little bit, because he's got where his magnet holes are on his feet are right over a big lower open area of the, where the Seahawk logo is. So his foot would probably have to come to the right a little, and he would have to turn his whole body, which is fine. It would still be, I think it'll be fine. Or the other way, whatever. We'll see. So that has to be drilled and painted, which will be the last thing, likely. Now, which is that doesn't mean it's not going to happen in the next couple of days, because the rest of it is going to be getting done in the next couple of days. So then these have to be primed and painted. I had to put something on the bottom because the small ones were just falling over. Like, this is pretty sturdy. It's good. But these ones, which were the originals, they stand, but of course it did, but they're just not very sturdy. It's just a small little thing, and like anything hits it, because it's like a curved triangle. It just doesn't have stability like a real heavy, like a real one. And I have a bigger one that's like probably like this tall, and it stands fine. It doesn't have any problems. These little ones just do. It's just by nature, they're just not really sturdy. So I was going to put squares, but I went with the circles. I think they fit the design better, and they're the same shape as the stand anyway. So there's that. Now let me show the back of this. What did I do since you've last seen it? I haven't really done anything with the paint, because I wanted to get all the stickers done first, which are now, I think they're going to be done. I put these little feathers here. What's going to be done is that's going to be aluminum, and then I got to do all the touch-up. As far as the colors where they are, that's where they are. They're not. So I don't think that they're moving. I think they look fantastic. Then let me spin around to show what I did. Put a little logo on the sidekick. And now you can see the feathers right there. And then they're down here. And put them on the sides, like to the side. I didn't want to put them like here. Originally we talked about having them like here, 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 and then a couple over here. I think they need to be grouped together to look like the Seattle feathers. They're always grouped together. Everything I've looked at, as far as references, on the uniforms are always together. They're not like one here and one there. So I thought that was important to keep them like that. And I really wanted them to be in this green color. I said I was going to do them white originally, but because I didn't think my printer could get this close, but it's pretty close. And I would not be happy if they were white. It just wouldn't look right. I don't think they would look good in any other color, to be honest. So I'm glad that they're, pretty close. It's very hard to do CMYK on an inkjet to match an acrylic fluorescent paint, but it came out pretty close. Good enough for for the statue, which is not an insult. It's saying for me to use it, they are definitely worth. They came out good, better than I expected. That's why they're on there. I want to put no piece of shit sticker on there. So I got the 12 going, and then the captain's patch. Put the logo on both sides of the gun. I didn't know if I wanted to put it there or not. I mean, if you don't like it, and I'm talking to the owner, I can take it off. I thought it looked cool. I had smaller ones up here, but then they just kind of got lost, and I was like, I had those extra stickers, so whether you want to keep them, that's up to you. I don't not like them. I think it's cool. And then I put one on his hook shot or grapple shot, and then he also has matching feathers on his forearm right there. There is one. I don't know if you can see it right there. I couldn't look. That was too high for me to see. But then again, there's the captain. I recut that one today. And then again, he has his matching feathers here. And then one thing I was saying, I don't know, I was going to do the sides of this gray, this piece, but I think it's better to keep it blue because it matches down the side of this whole piece right here. I think if I did them gray, it's just not going to have the, continuity that it does now with the sides being blue. Either way, it's fine. I just think that I painted it like that, and I was like, I don't know, I think I'm gonna do the side, and I was like, I thought it looked better because the whole thing is blue down the side. If you see what I'm saying, like this piece. So there is that, and then this right here. Just to let you know, I'm probably gonna go in and do. It's got the light gray here on the bottom, and then it has the blue here, if you see. And then this is kind of like a dark gray, and then the green. I kind of liked having that 4 colors. I was gonna go and do this blue, but where the airbrush stopped, I was like, you know what? That's actually pretty damn cool. So I would touch up the blue here and here, and then I would also make this blue, this piece right here, and then this from here, like all this would stay in a darker gray. I like it like that. I think actually even though it's not painted with a hard line, I would have to fix, the line right here. But this, if you look at it, it's kind of like blending with green and gray and blue. It almost looks awesome. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would hate to even go in there and paint it solid gray. I feel like the blue spots all over it. I don't know why. It really looks cool. But that's up to you. I mean, if you want it solid, I can understand that too. I just love the way they airbrushed it, happen to fade that little edge. It's just, you know what? It's not. I don't know. It's just sometimes I see something and I'm just like, man, that shit looks cool. So there's all the feathers on his leg here and over there, and then all the colors in the middle, and then I'll take his helmet off so you can check it out. I did take a photo of it from here. I mean, it's pretty fucking cool. I don't know what made me do that. I just was like, man, let me check that out, because sometimes, like in college, or they had these on some of their helmets, the Seahawks, I believe, but like small and different color. But I was like, you know what, that's pretty cool. Let me just see what it looks like. And I just was like, man, that looks friggin' awesome. And then I was able to make the logo bigger here instead of just small down here. I was like, you know what? I didn't want to put it in the back or in the middle. It just felt like, because when you're looking at it from the front, you can almost it's like right there. So I thought putting it back here I don't know. It was just like a thing I put in the middle. I just put it in the back. I was like, hell no. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to put it near the front. And I thought it came out pretty cool. Oh, this one's not staying. Sorry. I had to take that off. I'll take it off. That's the little one. I had it backwards too. I forgot to print one in reverse, but that'll be coming off. Just like this one doesn't have one. But the helmet's fucking badass. I ain't gonna lie, it is. Now, as far as the mask, I'm gonna do a test spray tomorrow when I spray these trophies. I'm gonna try to do the green and blue metallic with the paint that I have. See what happens. I mean, like I showed you before, it's like, who knows? I don't really know. It looked okay on the shotgun, but the shotgun's really not it's not the best way to test it, but we'll see what happens. It's not my statue. I would, so I can't really say. I think that the blue and green, it will look cool, but also the black looks cool, but not that black. It would have to be more like, I have another black that's called obsidian black, but it's more like a gray, but when you spray it, it is black. It's pretty dark, but I'm not gonna even say, I almost would just spray it just a straight up black. This is a gloss black, but it's a primer, so the finish is kind of but anyway, that's not the big deal right now. Just wanted to show the whole statue, what it looks like at this point. And then once everything's settled, with the stickers are good for you, and you're happy with everything, then I will go in and do all the touch up, which that's all it really needs. The statue, literally all it needs is touch up. It needs the stand painted, which is last, the trophy's done, and touch up on the statue and the mask, and then it would be done. And of course I got to sand this, and then the helmets, as I said, the skull's got to be painted in like a dirty white, and then I'll paint the masks, and then they'll be chained up together. And then I'm gonna do, as I think I told you, I'm gonna these logos can't stay brand new. They wouldn't look like they got their ass beat if they stayed brand new. Matter of fact, I broke this mask on purpose right there. I wanted to cut a piece of it out, so they're supposed to look like they got, what I'm saying, got their heads chopped off. We don't want these pretty helmets. You gotta hate them, they're your rival. So if you look at the Bucks one, that's how they are. They're all messed up. They're not perfect. The logo's got pieces scraped off of them. That's the whole idea of the statue, is to have your 3 division rivals' heads in a chain. So sounds so mean, but all right. So that's all I wanted to show. I'm gonna let him turn around and just take a look at him again. I think he's looking pretty badass. Oh yeah, I gotta paint that aluminum. I think I said that in the little thing on his back. But this shit is so nice. Yeah, I don't care if I say my own stuff is nice. It is. It's really cool. I think anybody who's a Seattle Seahawks fan and a Halo fan would agree. The statue is pretty fucking sweet. When it first started, I couldn't even imagine what it was going to look like. I had a good idea, but it's even better than I expected it to come out. And it's going to look great on display. And, I'm pretty excited to see, to send it out, and I'll be sad to see it go, like everything I do. I'm always sad. But all right, everyone, don't forget to like, follow, share, and if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe so I can get my subscriber count up. If you like Halo stuff or just painting in general, sometimes I like to post other stuff than Halo if I'm doing it, which I do have some stuff coming up that I will be posting, some anime and some He-Man stuff. Hopefully I can get to it, because I got a bunch of Master Chiefs over there waiting to be painted from Campaign Evolved. So, alright, everyone, don't forget to like, follow, share again, and peace, and hope you love it.